Give me 1 second, guys. Thank you, Ruby.
You're welcome. Thank you. I want to type on one number of mine.
Oh, hey, look here, guys. Uh-oh.
I don't think they'll have trouble mirroring the sound on it.
I can sync it.
Pick it up a little bit.
I'll be able to sync it.
There you go. Yeah. But if you want to think,
Well, the doctor is in the house. And with the doctor in the house, I think it's only fitting with the Women's World Champion here. Our next guest needs no introduction, so I'll let him introduce himself as you've come so accustomed to hearing. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Cole, baby.
Adam, it was a surprise that you became a free agent, and it sounds like it was a surprise to even the company that maybe let you go. Can you please explain that process? Because that had to be a roller coaster that maybe you were expecting, but not so soon.
Yeah, so funny enough, believe it or not, I was also surprised.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that it was like 6 months later. So it was a surprise to me, it was a surprise to them. And then all of a sudden, it was like, oh no, we're talking about it in 3 days. It was public knowledge to a lot of people that I had signed a little extension. I was in the middle of a really serious angle with Kyle O'Reilly, which was very important to me. He's one of my best friends in the entire world. And then after that is when stuff kind of opened up for me. So, but yeah, very surprising to me. It was just as surprising to me.
What went through your head, decision making? I mean, like, you probably were twisted and turned in different directions. You had a lot of different things you probably thought about.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, because when you think about where I was, like that technically was my dream since I was 9 years old. And then I'd seen everything that AEW was doing. I'd been here countless times to support Britt and hang out with the crew. And it's just the best crew. The shows are amazing, the fans are amazing. But at the same time, I had really built a reputation for myself there as well. But I knew in my heart pretty early on that I wanted to come here. And it's no knock whatsoever on them. I had a very excellent 4-year experience, but I wanted to come back and work with a crew who I love being around 24/7, a crew that is just as passionate about pro wrestling as I am, and fans that feel the exact same way that we do. So making the decision was a fairly easy one.
Adam, you made a huge statement tonight. What is the message that you're hoping the pro wrestling community receives from tonight?
I hope they realize that I'm just getting started. Like in this sense, I know I've been doing this now for 13 and a half years, but I'm only 32. So I have a lot of time left in my wrestling career. As excited as I am, this is a whole new challenge. Like when I look at this roster, I see so many guys that I've never wrestled before. I see a whole crew of fans who are ready and excited for these awesome matches. I'm ready to show them that I'm going to deliver. In every sense of the word, I'm going to deliver. And more importantly, I am so excited to do so.
So it was reported before you left WWE you'd had a talk with Vince McMahon. How did that go, and how different is it talking to Vince as it is talking to Tony?
Yeah. The talk went great. We had a really, really good conversation about a lot of different things. But the actual conversation itself was awesome. I had no bad experience with him whatsoever. He is an intimidating man that definitely commands respect in a lot of ways. But the experience itself was totally fine. Working and being around, or even, I mean, because I just started tonight, but being around Tony is so cool for so many different reasons. But the biggest one is how contagious his love for wrestling is. Like I know that I love pro wrestling, but you can't help but be more excited and more ready to go and more fired up when you're around Tony. I feel like I can go and talk to Tony about anything, which is such a
At any time of the night from now on, anytime, day or shine, you can be anytime.
which is so cool. So yeah, it's Yeah, and I'm not just saying this because he's sitting here. I say this to everybody, but Tony is an amazing, amazing person.
Tony, Adam, question. Was the plan always for you to get here and be on the show right away, or was this something that,
This all came together really quickly.
how quickly we're talking?
And very quickly. I mean, like in the time he didn't know he was going to be out of contract, and we had no idea, and I had no idea he was going to be out of contract. And then all of a sudden, he was out of contract very recently, and a lot of things came together, and it was just an amazing time. I mean, so many great things happening for AEW and for our business, but I really can't imagine a better time or a better person to come and be here for such an amazing night. And it meant a lot that you did. Thank you.
Thank you.
Adam, you talked about being in the business for like 13 years, and obviously you had a
13 and a half.
But anyways, you talked just from the past company and the other promotions you've been with, and on the independent scene. Something AEW's done is a lot like flex your creative muscles a little bit more, and when it comes to things, talk about what you're kind of looking forward to doing. That not that you were limited or didn't have any confines or certain things, but maybe opening up with some creative aspects a little bit, maybe that you weren't able to do in the past.
Yeah, so this is really broad, but just having the option of having conversations about different ideas. Like knowing that, me and Tony, or me and Matt and Nick, and me and whoever can sit in a room and have a bunch of different ideas. And maybe one sticks, maybe one doesn't, but knowing that that line of communication is completely open. Naturally, I think a lot of times with creativity, people are afraid to say something because they don't want to sound stupid or they don't want to look stupid. And that doesn't exist here. So again, even if you have 3 horrible ideas, maybe that'll inspire an excellent idea, or someone else will come up with a different thought. So that is the part I'm really excited about.
Adam, I think I overheard you say that your family was texting you and they were so excited. What does this mean to your family? I mean, not just be with Britt, but to be here in AEW. Because I think you said your mom was texting you, she was real excited.
Yeah, my mom and my brother. My mom is the only person that I've responded to so far. And it's not because I'm choosing to not, but because it's just been so crazy. But she lives in Pennsylvania, and my younger brother lives in Pennsylvania. And they wouldn't miss this for the world. And I don't know if I should be saying this, but part of why Britt is so amazing is Britt was the one who made sure that they got here.
Oh, wow.
Which is really, I have to give her credit for it. I have to. She was the one who made sure they got here. They've been at shows of mine for years now, like literally since I first started. My mom has always been someone who supported this through and through. I remember she always said, she goes, as long as I see that you're passionate, and as long as I see that you're progressing, I will always support you. And she loved, like, again, her 9-year-old son being like, Mom, I want to be a pro wrestler. She'd go, okay, honey. But she's been there for so many huge moments. And she texted me and said, I've never seen anything like this before, which is huge. She's been to probably 100 of my matches. She was so happy, all capital letters. But it just makes the moment so much better. Like all of my favorite moments in this job is when my family gets to be here as well. They're such a huge support system. So it was amazing, so amazing that they got to be here.
Adam,
Yes.
you just came here and you chose to sit with the elite. What people are you gonna face next?
Ooh, I don't know. So there's a bunch of different options, but there are definitely some people I'm looking forward to stepping into the ring with. Number 1 is the gentleman that I kicked tonight, and that's Jungle Boy. He is a incredibly talented young man with a huge future, and a guy I would love to kick in the face again. But oh my gosh, when you think of it, Darby Allin, MJF, CM Punk, Christian Cage, so many different options, so many different choices. Really, I can't think of anyone on this roster who I wouldn't look forward to facing, except for the elite.
Adam, what do you make of that sequence from the time you got there to the end when Danielson and Cage are walking out? Where would you rate that among your favorite moments?
I think it's my favorite moment of all time. Seriously.
That's what he said when you came back. He said that you didn't. Nobody. You guys weren't here. That's what he said.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And I've had a lot of different, really cool, special. I'm so thankful for moments. But this one was just so special on so many different levels. Like the idea, and I really do this every time, but anytime I'm a surprise anywhere, I always tell myself, I'm like, God, I hope they're excited. Like, I hope they're happy that I'm here. So again, AEW is a company that I've watched from the very beginning. I've got to see it up close and personal lots of times with Britt. And I can honestly say, again, this is something else I shouldn't be saying, but I was so excited that when I was walking, my legs were shaking. And again, I've been doing this for a long time, and it wasn't nerves. I was so excited that my body was just, it couldn't help but move as I was trying to walk as cool as possible. But yeah, man, it's one of the highlights of my life, for sure. I'll never forget this.
Piggybacking off saying that you've been paying attention to AEW the entire time, you're the first major name from NXT to really make this jump here.
What, you don't think 2.0 were major names?
Well, you
Thank
put
you.
that with Daniel Garcia, it's the greatest thing in the world. But,
Thank
so in hindsight, having been on the other side of that Wednesday night affair there, what did you learn during that process, seeing the company from afar, and how did that have an influence on your research?
Yeah, well, so it was always exciting to watch AEW because you always felt like you didn't know what was going to happen, which tonight was the epitome of that. But like I loved that feeling and that sense of at any moment something that you did not see coming, something insane could happen on this show. Week to week, you just didn't know. For me personally, as far as the Wednesday night back and forth, I've always been someone who just kind of focused myself on what I was doing. But at the same time, and what I mean by that was not looking at it as how can we be better than AEW. It was more, how can I make my segment or my promo or my match as good as humanly possible, and then let's see what happens. But as far as watching the show from afar, between the in-ring wrestling, between the promo work, between the storytelling, and again, between the chaotic, what is going to happen, that's what was so appealing to me.
Do you see yourself in any other talent here in AEW? Like you reflect to yourself?
Do I see anyone else joining AEW?
No. Do you see yourself, watching another of the talents on
Who are you
AEW?
scouting? Oh, who am I looking at? In AEW?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, okay,
Like,
okay.
remembers yourself, a long way ago.
Yeah. So, again, Jungle Boy is a guy that I think of. I've so enjoyed MJF and his growth and his development. He's always been an excellent interview, and then to see him mold himself into an even better in-ring performer has been incredible. And again, Darby Allin is a guy I've really been watching because before Darby Allin came to AEW, I had the chance to wrestle Darby one time. And now to see his development and his growth has been awesome to watch. So he's another one that I definitely have my eyes on.
Last question, please. Last question.
I think we have one more.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
after
one more
this, we'll ask one more question, I think, if anybody has one more good one.
Adam, can you walk us through your mindset when you knew that the plan was going to be rejoining the Elite on this show?
Yeah, God, again, most of it was just pure excitement. Like, the older I've gotten, I've been better about enjoying the things that happen instead of, before I was so focused on every single step and, how I was going to get into the ring. And you still do those things, but it's more subconscious now. I knew tonight was going to be so special for so many different reasons that I told myself, I'm like, you have to just enjoy it. You have to just enjoy it. Of course, I was still shaking and so excited out there, but I did. All I was worried about, all I was focused on was making sure that I never forget this night, and I never will.
Thank you so much.
Is it one more? What is it? One more.
Tony, thank you for everything. Adam, I'm personally, from me to you, I'm most excited about you being here, number
Thanks,
one.
man. Thank you.
And all the work that you've done.
Thank
Number two, how does it feel to go home knowing that you're still able to play video games and that's not an issue here anymore?
It does.
And how important is that to you? I would love to know.
Yeah, it's incredibly important to me. Twitch was something that I started kind of over the pandemic. It was something I had wanted to do for a long time, but I didn't really take the time to teach myself. And then when that happened and I had a bunch of time on my hands, I was like, okay, it's no choice now. There's no excuse. I have to do it. And initially, I literally did do it just because I really like video games. I think anyone who knows me knows that I'm really passionate about that. But then what started from the Twitch stream was this community of people that would all come together and literally share that passion over video games. But I have gotten so many messages of people who are going through a really, really rough time, and the only thing that they looked forward to at that time were those streams. I've built a connection with a lot of these people. I know a lot of them by name. Social media can be a really nasty place sometimes, and there is none of that exists in the Twitch stream. So I adore doing that. I'm so happy that I'm still doing it. And yeah, I don't plan on stopping anytime soon.
Thank you.
So, of course.
I'd like I'd just like to say a statement, which is that, the Wednesday Night War is over, and we went, in the demo, I believe out of 75 episodes, we went 74-1 in the demo. He is the one in 74-1. When there was a Wednesday Night War, this is the man who used to strike fear into my hearts every Wednesday. I used to be scared. This guy scared the shit out of me every Wednesday, and there's nobody I'd rather have here, and it means the world that you came. Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Adam.
Oh, should I hand this over?
It's okay, I'll pass it to you.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Adam.
Congratulations.